Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Inaugural ceremonies in my times when I was a student like you were boring, right? Particularly by the time the chief guest arrived on the rostrum. Already had, people had spoken enough and you were not ready to listen to any crap but start with the business. Well, over a period of time, when I progressed in Indian Air Force as a career officer, I realized that the inaugural ceremonies continues to be boring for me further actually, right? And I give you a small story. When I was in Defense Services Staff College at Wellington, where about 478 officers all across the country, as well as some about 78 officers from across the world, they get trained in strategy and leadership for about an year or so. So our first formal talk, these talks used to happen on Saturdays. First formal talk was by Dr. 𝐒𝐤𝐻𝐿. Okay, have you heard about Dr. 𝐒𝐤𝐻𝐿? He was the ambassador to Sri Lanka during 1989. So he started his, talk referring to me. I was perhaps in the second or third row and sitting like this. He said, "You, the cross-armed man," right? So I was really, zapped. He said, what does it mean? And he just laughed. You don't get zittered actually. I just wanted to open your arms, because unless you open your arms, unless you do not remain cross-legged, the ideas do not get received. So I'm sure I had a lesson on that day that life is learning, right? And when life is learning, you can learn at any stage in life. With all due respect to Radhika, whatever she has spoken about me, I think the biggest quality in me today even is that at the 60th year of my life, I continue to learn. This is the word. I never say to myself, I never say to myself, I know. I always say, I really don't know, right? And then there is a possibility. So here I am in front of you today. I'm not going to give you the usual rhetoric about what the nation should do. We are in the 75th year, when it comes to the synergy kind of, mechanisms. What should we do as a country? What I'm going to actually talk about very much at the ground level, that what you students you need to do, right, in terms of taking it forward when it comes to the tech festivals. And while I do, I'm sorry, I'm going to refer to these notes. Unfortunately, your friend Dr. Rajneesh Wadhwa hardly gave me any time, right? And whenever he says, "Sir, aapko yahan aana hai," the answer is always yes, right? There were some compulsions because I was to visit some hospital inaugural where PM is also coming. But then he solved this, very amicably, and he said, "Sir, we will do this way actually," and that is how I'm in front of you. But I had no preparation time, so what I did, like a nalaik student, I have scribbled some notes in the morning. About 40-45 minutes I spent in my office, and I'm going to just go through my notes, whatever I've written. So I start from the vintage. I'm a vintage man, I'm in the running 30th, 60th year when I said. So if my friends here and on the roster will agree with me, that at least 2.5 decades, generations ahead or behind, depending upon which end you are looking down, you will find that technology per se is changing at a pace much faster than you can even perceive actually. The biggest challenge today to the leaders is this fast changing technology, how to not only match with this technology, because by the time you realize that the technology is new, within 2 years its shelf life is over actually. Okay, so the biggest challenge, not only the technocrats, but importantly the leaders today, is how to match up the challenges thrown by the ever-changing technology. So for those of my generation, when I say vintage, who have seen kerosene lamps and perhaps gas stoves where the cooking was being done at home, I'm from a very humble family, and I take it with pride that I'm a son of a laborer. My mom, in a small room where we were living, no kitchen, no bathroom, okay? The stove was the mechanism there where the food was cooked actually. So from those days, when I look back to the electricity, when as it evolved through the conventional means to non-conventional means subsequently, and now we are talking about the green energy. It has been, I will say, bewildering changes, for me, for you, for anybody. You can't even, perceive, the young generation can't even perceive what I'm talking about, right? What was, even in today's world, when it comes to our villages, some of the villages do not have the conventional electricity. Where is the question of green changes? From communication through postcard, I remember my Air Force Academy days in 1987 when I joined my journey with Air Force. Postcard and that Antardeshiya, patra, which we used to receive. My God, the only thing which we used to receive was through hope and prayer. We didn't even know that communication will be finally reaching us actually, right? So from those days of hope and prayer, the advent of telephone, the cell phone in your hands, the IP phone and the satellite phone, right, are nothing but, metamorphic changes. These changes are, I will say, miracles in making. Now, some would say that the changes are too fast, but I think I would like to say they are not just exponential in nature. These are the needs of the hour. That is why the technology is changing so fast. It is often said that an idea can change your life. Have you heard about this advertisement? How many of you? An idea can change your life. Yes. Whose idea is this? Idea. Okay, wonderful. So, but I personally believe that this view of an idea is too myopic in nature actually. If I have to be telling something about an idea, I will say that an idea can change the whole world, not just the life actually, okay? So let us see how. Let me give you some examples actually. The invention of sieving machines, if you look at, right? Look at invention of simply sieving machines. When did it happen? Any idea? The technocrats here. When was this sieving machine invented? Anybody from audience, students? Come on. I was told SGT students are very intelligent. एक guess मारो यार. Some guess. Is it 300 years, 400 years, 500 years, 700 years? What? When was this sieving machine was invented? I also don't know actually, okay. So wild guess is about say 500 years ago. So now look at this sieving machine. This is the case in point, I thought I must bring to you. It not only heralded the textile revolution in the world over, but also the industrial revolution. It influenced the role and status of women in the country everywhere, revolutionized the garment industry, revolutionized the shoemaking and upholstery, and changed the world permanently, the way we used to look at the fashion industry for that matter. So the importance of idea when it comes to is not lost to us. It is the first building block of any creative ecosystem. So when my friend, my predecessor was talking about what he's doing in the microbiology, what you are going to do in terms of ideas on microbiology or anything for that matter is going to matter in times to come. The main aim of ideation is to use creativity and innovation in order to develop solutions to importantly socially driven issues and the problems. Mentally it means going right in terms of concept and outcomes, and there is no right and wrong in terms of outcomes per se. It also means often questioning the accepted norms. More often than not, I have realized the youngsters today, right, are more matured, more capacitated, more in terms of forthcoming, more in terms of candid when it comes to our generation. They do ask questions. They do question the acceptable norms actually. This is what the way is. More the questions, more the answers, more the ideas. And a word of caution for my young fellas as well as the younger faculties, don't be deterred by if someone says, this is a bloody stupid question. Don't get deterred by this. No question is stupid. Only the answers could be stupid for that matter, actually, right? I personally feel that way. So till you get answers, keep questioning. Unless you question, these kind of innovations which are in front of you will not happen. As you are both young and restless, are you restless? No? Okay. What about this side? Young and restless? Okay. You must be having many ideas. Ideas are to seed innovation and need conclusive environment, that is the ecosystem which is needed for taking shape and flourish. In this light, I must say and emphasize that today's world of design thinking. Have you heard about this term, design thinking? Great. One needs to link and synergize between three components, importantly, human psychology, technology, and importantly, society. And one of the critical components of this process of synergy is the ideation, the idea per se. So Synergy 2022 at SGT, when it comes to, therefore, are the test beds, these kind of test festivals, I feel that these are the test beds. Somebody talked about pilot project. I will say they are test beds for innovation, and your SGT University, by organizing, is asking you to express, design, and demonstrate as to how good you can be in your ideas. Remember that there are no bad ideas. It's just that some of them are just in time and some of the ideas are before in time. So you could be lucky if it is before in time. I've gone through the whole list of approved projects which was forwarded to me because I didn't know how much time I will have to spend with you. With great interest and enthusiasm, let me tell you, each and every project I've gone through, so many innovative ideas, rather great ideas, believe me. I'm not saying just to pamper your ego. I thought some of them are really great ideas. Spanning across fields like life sciences, reclamation, health sciences, tech innovation, and even I saw forensic sciences actually. This is raison d'etre of the tech festival at any university of this esteem. So this university deserves praise for not only just conducting it, but architecting it too well for its effectivity. Lastly, in current times, India's moniker is about an enabling startup system. But that is not enough to succeed, I personally feel, and you should watch this sentence which I'm going to say. You need to start up fine, but you need to stand while you start up. And while you stand, you need to also ensure that you stay up. How do you stay up? I will come to that. That means what I'm talking about, purely sustainability of your startup system. You are the potential founders of many startups of formation. Tomorrow, believe me, believe in yourself, and you will know what I'm talking about. But there are there are some people among you who are just focused on getting rich. That too very quickly. My own son, he always talks about, I'm going to be very rich very soon. This is going to be my first package. This is how I'm going to lead my life, right? I caution you. Okay? How many startups fail, if I have to ask you? What is the percentage? 88% is the average figure across the world, right? So what I'm cautioning you, I'm not making scare among you, but what I'm trying to say, why those startups fail, you need to look at that angle actually. Why the startups, the founders are not able to match up the legitimate aspirations of the venture capitalists. That is what you have to look at. So if I say so, you must know that it happens rarely, if ever you succeed very quickly. It is a very, very rarest thing to happen. You are actually not just lucky, you are really a brain if that happens. So most importantly, who falls short on, I will say, three components: ethics, integrity, and empathy. Whosoever is the founder and who falls short on these three components do extreme disservice and damage to not only themselves, their organizations, and this nation. But importantly, they do this disservice and damage to those kind of founders who are genuine in not only their aspirations, but their approach. Don't you think we have a role to play, not as a startup maker, not as a founder, not as the unicorn of tomorrow, not as the company which is going to be listed in Forbes tomorrow, but we need to look at the life is no shortcuts and nobody dies of hard work. The party is just getting started, ladies and gentlemen. I wish you all the cheers. Jai Hind. Thank you.